Welcome to week 4 of the Adult Weight Management Project. This week we're going to be talking about healthy eating and portion control. You have several handouts that we're going to be referring to during the presentation here. One of the first things I want to talk about is a publication called Healthy People 2010 put out by the Department of Health and Human Services. This publication recommends that adults should consistently consume at least 5 fruits and vegetables daily. So that's going to be one of your goals. You need to know that you have complete control over what you put in your mouth and what you eat. You rarely if ever has anyone put a gun to your head and said eat this or else. What you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, all these are totally under your control. And losing control is why people fail in their weight loss projects. The strategies that you've picked so far, what you've done is you've made a list of 20. You picked 3 to implement. You've been using them for a week and then evaluating them, saying if they're working, I'm going to keep using them. If they're not, then you're going to pick 3 more and keep going. And if they're not working, then you want to kind of evaluate why they're not working for you. Over time, as you do this and you find strategies that work for you, then this is going to become your own personal weight management system that's really going to work. By the end of the 12 weeks, this should be pretty well under control for you. One thing you want to do is learn to recognize when you're hungry. And to do this, what you want to do is allow enough time between eating periods to really become hungry. So often we don't really do this. But you want to use this feeling as a guide for when you're eating. Take your food diaries, write in your diaries these times when you're feeling hungry. Notice if there's a pattern to them. A balanced diet, I've given you an example of what a balanced diet should look like in this slide. Just a guide to go by. Yours may not look exactly like this. Portion control, we've gotten so used to larger portions and supersized portions that we don't really recognize what normal portions are now. Portions aren't the same as they were 20 to 30 years ago. The food industry has steadily made us think we need to have larger and larger portions. What you really want is a portion that gives you a feeling of satiety, and this feeling of satiety is a feeling of fullness. And when you get this feeling of fullness or feeling of satiety, this is when you need to quit eating. Talking about portion control, one thing you can do is use a smaller plate. If you put the same amount of food on a smaller plate, it psychologically makes you think you're eating more. What you want to do when you choose food to go on your plate is mentally divide your plate into fourths. The meat or main dish or protein should cover only a fourth of your plate. Bread, starches, grains should cover a fourth of your plate, and fruits and vegetables should cover the remaining half of your plate. Going to have an example here in just 1 second in the next slide as to what this actually should look like. Here's your example of your plate. Next, I've got a couple of slides on what portions should look like. I'm going to let you read over those yourself because time is limited in these videos here. What we know so far is that we have to eat to survive. We must balance our energy in with our energy out. Too much energy in, we're going to gain weight. Too little energy in, we're going to lose weight. And we have to feel full or satisfied to know when we stop eating. The next concept that I want to talk to you about is a concept called energy density. Most people have not heard of this. Energy density is the ratio of calories per serving to grams per serving, and you're not going to find this on any food label. This is something you have to learn to figure yourself. It's important for you to learn to read food labels. If you haven't started that, you need to start doing that. Foods are going to go from very low energy density to high energy density, and I'm going to show you how to figure that in just a second here. What you want to concentrate on is the low energy dense foods, because you can eat more of these and get more of a feeling of fullness. So if you're going to determine energy density, you want to look at your food label. You want to look at the calories per serving, the grams per serving. And what you do then is take the calories per serving and divide these by grams per serving. And I've got an example of a food label coming up. All your food labels will not have grams per serving. So you may be a disadvantage on some foods. An example of how to figure this is green beans. Green beans have 20 calories per half cup serving. It's 120 grams per serving. So you divide the 20 calories by the 120 grams and you come up with an energy density of 0.16. So green beans are a very low energy dense food. Using energy density rules of thumb, if the calories in the food are lower than the number of grams, eat what you want. If the calories in the food are the same or up to twice as many as the grams, then use portion control. And if the calories in the food are more than twice the number of grams, then only eat a small portion or not eat these at all. The secret of energy density: using energy density as a guide for eating allows you to eat a very large amount of food and consume very few calories. You can almost stuff yourself if you're using energy density as a guide. I know I'm rushed here on these slides. I will go over this individually with you if you're interested. There are three big secrets to know to lose weight. One is energy density. We just talked about it. Another is WFSSC, and the third is eating slowly. WFSSC stands for white flour, sugar, salt, and chemicals. These are foods you want to avoid. You can ask yourself when you start to eat a food, say WFSSC, and if it contains any of those, then you know this is a food you want to avoid. Okay, we're out of time on this slide. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer.